What's going on, everybody? We have a Cup of Nations battle here between PCJ Law as Rome and Bobi as Massilia. Let's get right into it. See, pretty standard build for scene. Roman bringing, well, in some ways not with 4 Praetorian. Kind of an interesting idea. See how that plays out against the strong. So look at the Massilian build here. Massilia, one of the stronger factions, I would say. We have 3 Hippias Lancers and 3 Massilian Cav, 4 Massilian Hoplites up in the middle here, 3 Celtic Slingers, 3 Celtic Warriors, I would presume they're all Celtics, yep, and 2 Axe Warriors, along with 2 Levy Free who cannot use their Javelins. So pretty strong army, well-rounded. Meanwhile, on this side we have Auxiliary Infantry, Vigile, Auxiliary. So 2 Auxiliary Infantry and 4 Vigiles. You have a Praetorian Guard, Praetorian, Advocati. So 3 Praetorians, a Praetorian Guard, who are basically the same, slightly higher armor, and 1 Advocati, 4 Saki Equites, 2 Auxiliary Steering Archers, and a Legatus General. This general's battle rhythm, second win, and this general I would presume is the same, yep. So, interesting build here from the Romans. They're going to have a superior infantry force. There's only 4 elite infantry for Massilia to the 5 of Rome, and the Romans are much stronger, obviously. But the flanking units will be so much superior for Massilia. Like, you have the 3 Celtics and 2 Axe Warriors, so that's already 5 more infantry, and also a hugely superior cavalry force. With 6 cav against just the 4 plus the general, and his cav's also much better than Massilian's cav. These 3 Celtic Slingers will probably lose to the Syrian Archers, but should keep them busy long enough, and I'm not really sure what the Syrian Archers will be able to do massive damage to, unless they're given enough time to focus down the general or one of these Hippias Lancers maybe. So it'll be all about, can the Roman punch through the main line, whatever that is, of Massilia before the Massilian cav and flank comes around and comes in from behind. If the Romans can win the middle battle here and the main line fight fast, they should be able to do it, to win the battle. They have a lot of spears. They have 6 spears, so they can really hold off the cav for a while, with their own 4 cav as well. So it should give them enough time to win the fight. But Massilia, I think their best option here is going to be to use their Celtics and maybe their Axes as well, in conjunction with their 4 Massilian Hoplites, to just wear down these Praetorians by cycle charging in the Axe Warriors and the Celtics and using the Massilians as the staying force, Massilian Hoplites anyway, and let their cav do all the killing. But at the same time, theoretically, the Auxiliary Infantry and Vigiles could just hold and help the cav of Rome win the fight. It's going to be a really interesting battle. I think these 2 forces are evenly matched. I like the Roman build. Here, I think had he brought 5 Evocati or 4 Veteran Legionnaire, he would have lost more easily, because the extra money doesn't really help you as Rome against Massilia, because your spears, if you bring better spears, are still going to lose to the flank units of Massilia. And your cav, you can make better cav, but is it really going to help you against hoplites, levy free, and really good cav? Not really. So I do think this is the best possible, or one of the better possible armies. You can already see Bobi moving out to the flanks. He knows Rome doesn't really want to contest these flanks, because they can't spend their heavy infantry doing that, and the rest of their army sucks, basically. So he is going to get some free flanking maneuvers. And you can see he's done that very well with this really large flanking force here, and he will be able to get onto the rears faster. That's helpful, and also spreading out these auxiliary infantry Vigiles, which is always helpful. He's going to focus down this Vigile with his Slingers. You can see these archers have been taken out of the fight, at least for now, by his flanking forces, and now he's starting to get worried as PCJ Law, because he's getting flanked almost completely, and it's very hard to deal with a complete flank. Now, his cav is a bit isolated here, and yeah, he's going to have to pay here. I think Bobi was a little isolated, man, here. His cav should have been right up with his weak Celtic warriors. This is a really good trade for these Saki Equites. They need to get out, but now these Praetorians can come in, and these Celtics will die so fast to the Praetorians. He's going to try to retreat them, but basically that means these Equites lost 6 men, killed out, yeah, about 50 of these guys, so that's probably worth it, and a lot of these guys are dead as well. Now he's going to get some focus fire on this Praetorian. That's smart. That's really good play. Meanwhile, on the flank, though, here's what's actually going to be going down. While this main force was attacking, Bobi used some nice micro here to get into the flanks. Now, he doesn't really need to focus his Praetorian here. These auxiliary will beat these levy free. This Praetorian needs to get into this fight where the cav is. If you can kill the cav, that's so nice. Now, meanwhile, this Syrian archer is exposed. It's going to go down, perhaps, if he charges. He's going to get the charge in time. On this flank, though, he should also be pushing. Just to, if he can kill off these flanks, he'll win the game. This is like almost like a pipeline, I feel like, right now. It's a pipeline situation where Bobi is just retreating the middle, not like letting these Praetorians do absolutely nothing while he wins the flanks. However, these guys are so far away. These are infantry, not cav. He needs to get them close here. Otherwise, this guy can just come and kill everything here without these guys being able to do anything. They're so far away. He retreated them so far for no reason. This Hippeus Lancer got around the flank. PCJ lost almost all his caps so early on this fight. That's terrible for him. It could be really bad. He needs cav to be able to stop these Hippeus Lancers, man. He is going to get shot up a little bit here. Not going to kill anything, though. Not just yet. Slagoctaves against Massilian cav. He has so many spears. Like, when you have 6 spears that are all for the purpose of killing the enemy cav, there's no need for your cav to ever die. You should always commit your spears first. And this is going to mean that these Celtics or Axe Warriors are just in the rear, causing havoc against these auxiliary infantry, so they will absolutely slaughter. These Praetorians are basically wasted if they keep on chasing these small units for no gain, pretty much. Meanwhile, he'll have complete control of the battlefield with the rest of his cav and infantry. He really can't commit yet, though. So the Roman needs to clean up these backlines. He should have been doing that earlier, but he lost all his cabs, so that's making it really hard. Like, you have your entire army right here, but you can't. But no armed units are being committed to this fight here, which is crucial. One of the crucial fights, and now he commits his general. That's fine. That'll tie down these Massilian cav. But he does need to think about moving this auxiliary infantry in here. Why would the auxiliary infantry chase these Axe Warriors which they can't do anything to? Doesn't need, again, don't charge, just run away. Run behind your spears. He charges the spears, then you charge in with your cav and you tie them down and kill them with your combined fire. I guess he's going to try to get the trade with his archers, and we'll do a pretty good job of killing some men. But the problem is, he's down to like no cav at all. He literally has 1 unit left. And trying to protect that 1 unit will be very difficult. And if Massilia has all the cav in the late game, he'll be pretty much screwed, well, the Roman. But if you, at the same time though, if he loses enough men trying to commit to this rear fight, if he loses all his army doing this, and it's just a straight up infantry fight, the Roman will have such a free win pretty much. But he's smartly keeping a couple units back. He has a Hippeus at full strength, and another one here. So he's committed his Massilian cav, which were basically used just to kill the enemy cav. So this is pretty smart so far. But he needs to be careful not to commit these Massilians too hard. Or Massilian, Hippeus Lancers, my bad. Now he's going to get a nice charge here on these Evocati. That's a ripe target for the kill. Gonna get a second charge here. But they could get pinned in here. Like, again, like you just put your, charge your spears in. Just try to kill these cav. Because they're the only thing that's going to win them the game at this point. And he's using them to such a great effect, it's almost ridiculous. Like, they shouldn't be able to do this. He has this 1 cav unit, it is committed, just take it out and refight into here. Help your Evocati win the battle against these Axe Warriors. These charges have been devastating. And, like, with so many spears on the battlefield, with 6 spears for Rome, there should be no way that these 2 cav units continuously do this. But he's been caught in a position here. He needs to commit these Salki Equites to killing this unit here. Like, yes, it's probably worth losing the Evocati to kill these cav, but you're not killing the cav right now, so it's not worth it at all. Syrian archers are doing a little bit of damage, and he basically gets out for free. Let's see if those are Massilian cav. He needs to chase with the Salki Equites. Shock cav in general are useless when they're running away, right? Because they can't charge. And so if you chase them, eventually you're going to catch them, and then you kill them for free because they're terrible in melee. So, like, that flanking play is over. It was I think it's a complete disaster, to be honest, for Rome. They lost so many units to just the flanking forces, when literally the Massilian forces were over here and the Roman main line was here, and the flanking forces were coming like through here. Like, he literally could have committed much of his infantry, and especially his spears, he could have committed to dealing with this threat. because the Massilian line was so far away that if they started to advance, he could reconvene his forces to face them. And again, Massilia doesn't really want to fight the main line engagement. It's a losing battle for them. So I really think the Roman had a brilliant opportunity to just kill the flanking forces, the danger for Massilia, early on in this battle. Like, not completely. Obviously, Bobi could have just retreated, but at least completely quell that threat. Maybe get a couple cav units off the field, maybe some light infantry. So it was a great opportunity. Didn't really take it, but he didn't pay with his life either. The Roman army didn't pay with their life. We can see that both sides have lost a lot from this fight. Not much cav in general left on the field. 3 units for Bobi and 1 unit here for the Romans, but that's not necessarily terrible because all the spears are on the field still. But the problem is, shot cav is going to be effective at killing spears. You need a cav unit that will charge in after the shot cav is already charged. That's the key to beating them. And he doesn't have much cav left, so I would say that the Hippias Lancers are the most important unit on the field right now for Massilia. They can change this game. They are the ones that can kill these Roman infantry. That being said, these Roman infantry are at full strength, haven't been touched at all, and he still has both of his archers, which he kept alive well, and they're going to be key in killing these slingers, and that will make sure that he can't kite. You can't kill this entire army with just 3 slingers. Like, he can literally just use his Syrian archers to defend against these guys. I think he also wants to use the Syrian archers against the more important units. That's true. So what he should do, if he's worried about ammo conservation, he wants to use his archers against like the enemy cav or the enemy like hoplites, should just move up his spears a little bit further. I mean, like, I wouldn't be afraid of these slingers at all. They're not getting flanking angles right now. They're going to be shooting you in the front, and that's totally fine. You want to be worried about the slingers shooting this cav. This is the only cav left on the field for Rome, besides the general, obviously. And it's a big threat. And Rome is slowly being surrounded. I really like this, because there's no point in not doing it, because he only has 1 cav unit. So, it's going to be really hard to kill all these slingers. Like, it's almost a bait. I would say this is a really good bait. Like, if you said, oh, look, the slingers are here, we'll chase them. Nah, you're going to get killed. He'll kite them and shoot from all angles, and you will lose the slinger. Probably can retreat this slinger through and charge into the Celtics. And let's see if he falls for this bait. He is shooting right now this Praetorian in the flank. That's really nice fire. Right side of the Praetorian, that's the sword hand. And yeah, you can see Bobi is totally ready for this charge. He wants this cav to come in and sacrifice himself. He should be focusing it, and he is going to. But he doesn't have the best hover. Let's see. He needs to charge through, and he does. Let's see. But honestly, I don't think it's worth it. He does kill this Celtic too, but killing two slingers, right? You're not gonna get this one. 2 slingers for the cost of your last cav. He needs to be in closer support too. Like, these Celtics are gonna come back in and deal and kill this unit. If he had been in support with like 2 spears, he would have killed it. Let's see if he gets both these slingers. Oh, and these slingers aren't even gonna rout completely. They are down to 36 men though, so they're pretty much dead. Oh, this is not optimal, man. These Celtic warriors will. Oh, he's gonna chase this cav. I think he needs to chase this slinger off the field. And meanwhile, he should be like, I don't know, shooting them or something. I don't know, do something, like kill them. He is gonna catch. I think he'll go for the slinger. It's probably smart. But now he's wasted his cav for 1 slinger, and like most of the men. It's like, yeah, 1 slinger in total. Like 60 plus 30, 90 men. So he's killed 1 slinger at the cost of his last cav unit, which means these cav can literally kill almost everything on the field if they're given enough time. The only thing that can really stop them is the javelins of these Praetorians, but they'll be engaged, so shouldn't really be that optimal for them. 4 minutes left, so that means the engagement's gonna happen soon. I would think about, yeah, you gotta recycle this charge here. You just charge in. Yeah, he's gonna do it, but he wasted a volley already. Let's see. These Praetorians are never gonna cast a slinger. You should just charge in with this Praetorian chasing, so if he charges in the Celtic, you just kill both. Now here comes the charges on this flank. Yeah, this is pretty well done from the Praetorians. They get a lot of javelins, and the archers were ready to focus. This Epicai was already really weak, so that's why this happened. And yeah, these Hippias are gonna die pretty quickly. They're at full strength though. He is gonna get the charge in. He's gonna try to run away. Oh my god, he's not doing any damage, man. But he's charging this Celtic warrior, and it's not gonna do anything. against these Praetorians, even though they were charged. Look, these Hippeas have done so much damage against high value units, but these archers are going to start taking their toll. No need to charge any these Vigilates. These Vigilates need to watch the flank, and he also needs to start recommitting all his forces over here. These now the numbers advantage of Massilian infantry is going to pay dearly here. He will have enough to stop this threat and probably the next couple threats, so he should be fine for a while. But these guys, he needs to, like, he has so many spears that are doing nothing. His spears have done nothing this game when they could be almost the best unit possible to counter these forces. He is getting good arrow fire, but he's gonna lose his cav for free here. These Praetorians need to charge this Massilian hoplite. Like, he's getting into the rear for free, and he is gonna kill him. But let's see if that works. Another charge in for the Massilian hoplite. Is that against the Vigilante? Yeah. He needs to charge with something. These spears are worthless right now, man. They're absolutely worthless. He's getting surrounded, and that means that eventually he's going to get attacked in the rear, and his morale will be absolute shit. Meanwhile, these Praetorians are chasing all the way over here. They're going to kill this Celtic warrior, but they are exposed now. Could be focused down, but Levy free in the rear. They're charging in here. Evoca, this is a Praetorian, and it's so weak. It's crazy how much damage he's done, man. See, this is the Massilian focus fire working to maximum perfection. They're getting a high damage charge with the Celtics and these Hippeas Lancers, and the really effective holding power of these Massilian hoplites, and it's working really well. General died here. You can, I don't know, I guess it's just from friends routing. Maybe the General didn't die. He's gonna die, but maybe this is actually a good bait. If he kills with these Vigilates, these Cav, it'll be okay. But there's a Massilian hoplite gen in here. And what's gonna stop it? Not much. Meanwhile, this Praetorian Guard will be focused down. He needs a spear over here. Archers came back. He quickly gets them back into the fight. This is going to be really close, actually. This, oh my, this is insane. His best spear unit is chasing this Slinger. And, like, the Slinger, yeah, is important because it can get the flank shots, but this is his one unit that can really help kill these Hippeas, man. General recently died. That's not a huge deal here. Now, again, like, his spears are not fighting these optimal battles. Like, obviously here it's hard to take away because he has an extra Massilian hoplite unit, but still, like, it's not great. Meanwhile, Bobi excellently pulls out his men against these Praetorians and just gets free rear charges. This is really well done. I think he'll easily win this fight now. Like, there's nothing he can do. Like, his morale is low. He's getting free charges. He saved his Hippeas so well. But I think the spears in this first battle over here, where these Cavs just came in for free, that was the main problem. I think that's what's really lost in the game. And then just let the Cav of Massilia just, like, win the battle easily. But still, it was really close. I mean, I think Bobi just played this really excellently. Like, his Hippeas, you'll see, probably didn't get the most kills, but they were all really valuable kills, like, high-value kills, only against the Praetorian Guard. His Cav literally never had to fight the spears of, Rome, and so they were never hindered in any way, and that's what really allowed the Massilian troops to just do so much damage for basically for free. Like, his Hippeas are losing men now, but they've already done the damage. 118 kills, 143 kills. It's really good work. Meanwhile, his hoplites have done well. They haven't had to do that much, but you can see, like, normally this was a one-on-one fight. I'm pretty sure maybe it was a Celtic in here as well. Yeah, a Celtic and a Massilian hoplite against a Praetorian. That should be an easy win for the Praetorian, but because of these Cav, it wasn't even a contest. The Praetorians did absolutely nothing, and they were the thing that had to win Rome the battle. But in the end, it was the Cav of Massilia that lost Rome the battle, like forced Rome into some really bad engagements. And Bobi played it really well. In the end, it was a really close game. We can see here, look, Cav, so much damage. This one was the Hippeas that died early on, but it was safely sacrificed to kill a ton of enemy Cav with these Massilian Cav. Meanwhile, yeah, Celtics and Axe didn't do that well, didn't get that many kills, but it's because these guys just, like, died. The Praetorians were already dead to the Hippeas and the Massilian hoplite. So, you can just see how the kills of Massilia were very distributed, like, very well. Whereas on Rome, they were mostly on the infantry. The Cav, one Cav did well, the rest didn't. Spears did nothing. He needed his spears to do, not well, but just, like, get the Cav of Massilia out of the picture, and he wasn't able to do that, and that's reflected in these kills, and that's why Rome was so badly defeated. Like, it was a close game, but Massilia, after that first fight, really had this battle in their favor the entire time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.